the student told that don't reach the right people. Let's take a look at what's happening in Parliament. Well, this afternoon, fresh information available to us indicates that some more members of Parliament may be involved in the alleged visa fraud scandal that has hit Parliament. Today, the Speaker, Professor Michael Quay, is beginning a probe into allegations of visa fraud involving 3 incumbent members of Parliament and a former MP who British authorities cited. The MPs are Johnson Kwekwedu, Member of Parliament for Ahafuano Southwest, Richard Echampon, MP for Bia East, Joseph Benazin Daha, MP for Esutifi North, and Esnafo South MP George Boache. Well, even before the investigations are concluded, the minority leader has revealed the leadership of the House has received some more complaints from the British authorities involving other members of Parliament. He declined to name them. We'll hear from him shortly. But now let's get the reaction of some members of Parliament to this fresh scandal in the House.
Whatever is fraudulent, whatever is tainting the image of Parliament is not good for us. The Parliament is an august house, is a house of honor, and we are true representatives of the people. So we should be seen to be living above board and making sure that we carry the good image of Parliament. So some of these things we hear, we are not comfortable.
Obviously, it's a source
of...
We
always get some bad nuts in the good nuts. So that is it for now.
But we are very quick at indicting politicians. But what we need to know is that in every society, there's always a percentage that will go against the law. It happens even in priesthood. It happens even among nuns. It happens anywhere. But as a member of Parliament, you need to learn to live above reproach. We need to set the example. We are role models for so many people, and it's unfortunate. I would want to find out how many people were really involved. It could be maybe 1, 2, or 3, but then you know how sometimes we blow things out of proportion. How many other people are involved in visa fraud? Whether it's 1 or 2 people, that's one too many, and we need to stop it.
Speaking on the matter, parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo has been speaking to Majority Leader Osei Mensah-Bonsu on this matter.
I have been contacted by the High Commissioner. The Speaker has also called me to discuss the letter that was communicated to him from the High Commissioner. And we've had some discussions, and we've spoken to the members of Parliament, both new and continuing, on this matter. And as far as the persons cited are concerned, I would say that when the High Commissioner invited me and briefed me, that is subsequent to his writing to the Speaker, when he invited me to his office as the Majority Leader and Leader of the House, he explained further to me the alleged commissions of the members and former Member of Parliament. I interrogated them. Some of them gave various conflicting responses, responses that contradicted what the High Commissioner had told me.
As in, they didn't admit to some of the allegations that are contained in this. The fundamental point being this.
One of them indicated to me that the person that he traveled with had returned, even though the High Commissioner insisted that the person had not returned. And he said, if he doubted him, the person should be invited for the fingerprints to be taken, the biometrics to be taken, and it will register that is the same person that he traveled with. The other person, the Honorable Boache, admitted that yes, he traveled with the wife and a daughter, and the daughter unfortunately absconded. So at the time he was leaving, he was to stay with the mother for a brief while. The mother returned only to inform him that the daughter had left the house.
And he insisted he didn't have knowledge prior to her absconding, and that he didn't in any way connive with her in her decision to abscond?
That's the issue that he stated to me, because I guess he came ahead and left the wife and the daughter there. So the daughter then could not be traced, and I think eventually they established contact with her. It was difficult initially to establish contact, but eventually they did establish contact, and she agreed to return. Unfortunately, they lost contact again, because apparently the number that they used to contact her, the lady decided not to use the number again. So it was difficult to re-establish contact. And I think it's been off and on, and as we speak today, the young lady hasn't returned. That's at the heart of it. As to whether she secured the visa with a diplomatic passport, I think it turned out to be an untruth, that it was a normal passport that she used to secure the visa.
But the MP obviously facilitated.
At the time, he was not even a member of parliament. At the time, he was not a member of parliament. But be that as it may, he has served as a member of parliament before. The other person also gave an account that was different from what the High Commissioner had told me. And the High Commissioner also told me about some others whose names were not included in the letter that he transmitted to the Speaker. But he spoke to me and asked me to speak to those persons. Those members, at least one of them, went to the embassy, the High Commission, and disputed. I understand there was a heated argument between him and the High Commissioner, that what he was saying about him was a palpable untruth. And thereafter, the High Commissioner called me to inform me that that particular person had been rude to him, that I should talk to him. I called him and spoke to him, and he said what allegation he had made against him was an untruth, and he couldn't understand why he was saying that. Whereupon the High Commissioner then told me that he was going to further investigate and get back to me. And he also said I should also do my own investigation and get back to him. Okay. Only to wake up and be bombarded with this today. And I'm sorely disappointed with what has happened.
Just for clarity, so you've known about this for like how long until it became an issue of public domain? Just for clarity.
You said he wrote to you, chance upon a communication, to the Speaker. And of course, if it comes to the Speaker certainly will call me.
Okay, understandably so. Again, just for clarity, so he said there are outstanding cases beyond those who have been mentioned in the letter?
That is what he told me. That is what the High Commissioner told me.
Involving about how many MPs in that sense?
Well, he said there are about 2 or 3 that he was investigating. And 2 of them, he mentioned their names to me. One person declined to comment. He said there was no truth whatsoever, so he would not waste his time. The other person was so angry, he walked to the High Commission and disputed, whereupon he called to inform me that the person had come there indeed and shown rudeness to him. And he said he was going to follow up. Meanwhile, he encouraged me to still pursue the other cases, which is what I'm doing. Okay. Only to wake up, as I said today, and be bombarded with this. In the circumstance, the matter has left my court. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to do anything about it again.
Something may end up, eventually denting the image of Parliament. And the leadership of Parliament is expected to rise.
What else do I do? When you invite me, confidentially to discuss this matter, I'm interrogating them. I've given you a feedback about their responses. You are urging me to continue, and now all of a sudden it's out in the public domain. So what else do I do? Unfortunately, the Speaker is out of the jurisdiction. If the Speaker arrives, the Speaker, myself, and the minority leader would, convene a meeting about it, and then together we'll know what to do.
Will this in any way create any, diplomatic tension of a sort between ourselves and our UK counterparts? They are key supporters of, the business we do in Parliament and even our governors general.
I'm telling you that some of them are disputing what the ambassador, the High Commissioner has, put out there. So we should meet as a collective, and then perhaps invite the MPs and the former MP, that is, if he deems it appropriate, to come to us so that we further engage ourselves in these matters. I will make a determination Until we get there, I wouldn't want to say anything further to what I've said, except as I've said, it looks like the horse is out of the boat, because I am disappointed, I mean, honestly, by the turn of events.
Going forward, can you expect anything to change in, how you get your members of parliament in general, to then get hold of diplomatic passports, and how they're able to stand in for others when they are traveling out of the country?
I think I told you that when the matter first came up, we're having this orientation for the members when it first came. The new ones, we seriously engage them on what to do, how to comport themselves, and not do anything that will bring the image of Parliament into disrepute. The continuing ones, we did the same thing to them. Right, so we have engaged and we continue to engage.
And there was some focus on this particular issue about how they take people out of the country in terms of urging them to conduct themselves in ways that don't bring the name of the house into disrepute.
I've told you about facilitating the travels of people, their immediate family notwithstanding. Before the person goes there, you should know the person that you are traveling with. The person may be your child, your nephew, your own spouse. You should have some engagement with them before maybe you travel out with them. I think it's an unfortunate situation, and people are asking, so members of parliament should be denied diplomatic passports. I honestly think that the issuance of diplomatic passports to all manner of people in this country should be looked at again. How many pastors parading the corridors of this country have diplomatic passports? You go to the VVIP and you have all manner of people there. We should have a second critical look at who benefits from. Businessmen are having it. Sometimes some chiefs, who, in my view, the ranking of those chiefs may not qualify them for diplomatic passports, but they have them. And as a country, we should be looking at. I know of some journalists who even have diplomatic passports. Is it a matter that should be interrogated? We should have a clearly stated criteria for the granting of diplomatic passports.
But do you think all MPs deserve diplomatic passports?
All MPs.
As is the case now, now that you're raising concerns about
members of parliament elsewhere have diplomatic passports. The fact that one person abuses it, the fact that one minister abuses a diplomatic passport doesn't mean that ministers should not be given diplomatic passports. The fact that the president's daughter abuses a diplomatic passport doesn't mean that the president should not be given diplomatic passports.
Majority Leader there, Mr. Chief Mensa Bonsu.